Why do we need imam? If that's how it was, we just take a name, the one we like. An easy name that we could recite easily or understand easily, and just recite that. Do you all remember the story I always tell? That one time this lady went to Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah and said, Ya Mullah, I don't have any children. And Imam said, Acha. He picks up an apple from the Memani and gives to her. And said, take this, inshallah, you will have a children. So other lady here that she received this apple, and she did not have children either. He said, Imam had given me apple, could you share that apple with me? So I would have children too. Lady was generous, she shared the apple with the other lady, but the other lady did not have any children. This lady did. What was happening here? It was not the apple. It was the dua, the prayer, the blessing, or the will or the amr of the Imam that the first lady had the children and second lady did not. Come back to this Azam. You pick a name from here. You may have an apple. What you don't have is the blessing and the amr of the Imam. So when Imam gives you this Azam, comes with the blessings and the amr of the Imam for it to work for you. Back to Muhammad. Question again is, how did it work for him if there was no Imam? Or did he even have Ismi Azam? Because batin will not open. And I'm not using word maybe will not open, shayad nahi khulenga. I'm not using any of this word. I'm saying your ruhaniyat, your batin will not open without the Ismi Azam from the Imam. Now, someone can ask question, but we see all these other people, especially in the Hindu tariqa or some other religion, they claim that they have done this or have seen this or gone this far. तो क्या उनकी कोई रूहानी तरक्की नहीं होती है? रूहानी तरक्की का जो वर्ड है, जो समझ है, the understanding, the elevation of the spirituality is different in our tariqa than others. I will ask her to find that ayat about the पहले आसमान पर चिराग किया हुआ है. Think of an exercise. If somebody wanted to make some good muscles, they will go to the gym. They may hire an instructor and then he will follow the instructor, and maybe in 3 months, 6 months, he would have perfect muscles that he wanted to build. But a person who's working in an iron factory, हमारी लैंग्वेज हम लोग यूज करते हैं कि घी की फैक्ट्री में काम करता है, where he will pick up the heavy metals. If somebody was picking up the heavy metals, he will also build the muscle. Does he need to go to gym? No. What's the difference between the muscles that this man is building, working in an iron factory, compared to the person who's going to the gym? The person who's going to the gym, he will build the muscle exactly where he wants to build. And the way he wants to build. In the time frame he wanted to build. जबकि आयरन फैक्ट्री में काम करने वाले के भी मसल बन जाएंगे. Let's use the same example in our tariqa and other religion. Other people do ibadat too. And they may even reach to a certain place. But we are not talking about that place when we are talking about ruhaniyat. हमारे understanding of the ruhaniyat, that we understand our tariqa is different than the ruhaniyat other understand. And we have a perfect ayat for that. Ji.
This is chapter 67, verse 5. तुम्हारे करीब के आसमान को अजीमुशान चिरागों से आरास्ता किया है और इन्हें शयातीन को मार भगाने का जरिया बना दिया है.
And we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made such lamps as missiles to drive away the evil one.
जी, हमने करीब के आसमान पर चिरागा किया हुआ है. क्या करने के लिए चिरागा किया हुआ है? ताकि हम शयातीन को मार भगाएं. Could you read that in English one more time, please?
And we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made such lamps as missiles to drive away the evil one.
सबने सुन लिया? जी, you have another translation? जी.
67:5. And we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made such.
Did everybody understand, or was there anything that we did not understand? Because if we don't understand this ayat, we may not understand what I'm about to tell you. जी.
थोड़ा सा इसमें इसको ऐड ही करते हैं. And we have certainly beautified the nearest heaven with stars, and have made them what is thrown for the devils, and have prepared for them the punishment of the birds.
खुदावंद ताला फरमाता है कि मैंने पहले आसमान पर सबसे पहले इदराक किया हुआ. इम्प्लीकेशन क्या है कि देयर आर मोर देन वन हेवंस. मैंने पहले आसमान पर चिरागा किया हुआ है. पुट अ लैम्प्स ऑन द फर्स्ट हेवन. उसका पर्पस ये है कि शयातीन को मार भगाए. शयातीन को मार भगाए.
प्लूरल ऑफ शैतान. प्लूरल.
ठीक है. तो सम क्वेश्चन कम्स टू माइंड कि खुदा ताला शयातीन किसको फरमा रहे हैं? क्या शयातीन भी पहले आसमान पर पहुंच जाते हैं, पहले हेवन में? तो यहाँ पर खुदा ताला का इम्प्लीकेशन क्या है? किसको शयातीन कह रहे हैं वो? हु इज ही कॉलिंग शयातीन, राइट? अब आ जाए हम इस्माइली तरीके को छोड़कर वो लोग कि जो इमाम के अमर के बगैर जब कोई इसमें आज़म को लेते हैं, एंड पार्डन माय लैंग्वेज, चोरी करते हैं. क्योंकि इसमें आज़म जो है बिलोंग्स टू द इमाम. इसमें आज़म बिलोंग्स टू द इमाम. और इसके लिए हदीस और एक कुरान की आयत भी है, और इस हदीस को भी सुने आप. कुरान की आयत ये है कि आप आगे के दरवाजे से आया करो. Enter into the house from the front door. I'm going to ask all of you, when she texted you that we have a class this morning 6 o'clock at Barkas Pi's home, did she tell you to come from the front door, or did you just use the front door because that's the right way of coming into the house? Do we see that? When Allah is saying come from the front door, who comes from the back door? What do we call them? Thieves. Okay. Now, the hadith. I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is the gate. I am the house of wisdom, and Ali is the door. And Allah saying, use the front door to come into the house. Use Ali, have Imam, and use the door of the Imam to come into the house of wisdom and the city of knowledge, come into the Quran with Ali.
So the verse for the front door, enter from the front door, is 2 by 189.
इसलिए नाचीज ने वर्ड यूज किया कि अगर कोई कुरान से इस्म आज़म को चोरी कर लेता है तो चूंकि वो इस्म आज़म है फिर भी उसका काम तो चलता है. He uses the ism azam and may get to the first heaven. जी बेटा.
But if though, like they didn't like join from the Quran, what if like they received the Islam, like like Sapno or like like
In Batin.
yeah.
In Batin.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Bate.
They were in
Got it. So if somebody recites Ism Azam without the Imam, without coming through the door, and uses Ism Azam, and let's say, because it is Ism Azam, reaches to the first heaven, meaning उसके बातिन रूहानियत में कुछ उसको फ़ायदा हो जाता है और वो उस मकाम पर पहुंच जाता है जिसकी खुदावंद ताला बात कर रहे हैं, यानी कि पहले नूर तक पहुंच गया. द लैंप की जो बात है यहाँ पर कोई चैलेंज कर सकता है कि खुदावंद ताला ने नूर की बात नहीं की है, खुदावंद ताला ने लैंप की बात की है कि मैंने पहले आसमान पर लैंप्स लगाए हैं, राइट. एंड सो I will remind you of Surah Nur, ayat number 35.
24.
Surah 24, ayat number 35. That Allah is giving the example of His Nur as the lamp. खुदा के नूर की जो मिसाल है वो लैंप की है और यहाँ पर खुदा ने लैंप का वर्ड यूज़ किया है कि मैंने वहाँ पर लैंप लगाए हैं, यानी कि पहले आसमान पर जो खुदा का नूर है वहाँ पर खुदा ने अपना नूर रखा है, लेकिन एक रीज़न से रखा है. और वो रीज़न क्या था कि अगर कोई वहाँ पर इमाम के अमर के बगैर पहुँच जाता है और खुदा ताला ने उनको क्या कॉल किया, उनको शयातीन कहा, तो मैं उसको वहाँ से मार भगाऊंगा. I will push them away. वहाँ से मैं उसको निकाल दूंगा. तो अगर कोई पहुंच भी जाता है, जैसा एग्जांपल वाज कि घी की फैक्ट्री में या आयरन फैक्ट्री में कोई काम करता है तो उसकी मसल बन जाएंगी, because the person is using the Ism Azam without the blessing and the amar of the Imam. And remember, the Ism Azam belongs to Imam. ये इमाम का खजाना है और इमाम ही से आप उसको ले सकते हैं. तो दूसरे लोग भी वहां पहुंचेंगे, लेकिन वो कहां तक पहुंचेंगे, पहले आसमान तक. यहां पर मैं आपको एक बात बताऊंगा, but I will not be able to give you answer. I will ask you a question and I will ask you to write it down if you like. कि यहां पर जो पहले आसमान में जो इसको पहला नूर नजर आता है वो बहुत ही रंग बरंगीला, इज वेरी शाइनी, वेरी colorful. I was going to use word delicious. बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है, बहुत ही मजे का है, लेकिन वो उनके लिए जन्नत की आग की तरह काम करता है, माफी, उनके लिए दोज़ख की आग की तरह काम करता है वो नूर. If you take the example of a nur as in fire, fire can do two things for you. It can cook your food for you or it can burn you. वही नूर जहाँ एक जगह पर वो शादमानी है, द पीस है, उसी जगह पर अगर नूर को कोई नाहक छू ले उसके लिए वो आग भी हो सकता है.
Nahak means non-deserving.
Non-deserving. जो परमिशन के बगैर वहां पर पहुंच गया, जो फ्रंट डोर से नहीं आया था, जो फ्रंट डोर से नहीं आया था.
So the other pious people in other faiths, right? They are obviously not getting to the front door because they don't have the imam, but they're still pious. So will they just get to the first heaven and be happy there, or will they get burned in it?
Right. Good, good. So हमको और कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Let's come back to इस वाली तरीके. A person who does not have any knowledge, any understanding of the Imam's Nur, and when this person gets to the, because he's doing the ibadat, he will get to the first heaven. What would he see? Colorful Nur. वो वहां पर कितना खुश होकर बैठेगा? Would he ever move away from that Nur? नहीं ना? Would that be right thing to do or wrong thing to do?
Depends.
Let's listen to the Farman of Sultan Muhammad Shah. Mullah says that Momin is always on, he always sees himself on the first step of the stairs. First step. And this Momin could be Rahim Basaria, who Mullah said that he is from Ahl-e-Bayt. A Momin is always, he sees himself at the first step of the ladder.
Okay? So now listen to me carefully. अगर हमको पहले आसमान पे बैठ जाना होता, first light of the Imam's Nur, if there was the final journey, so there are few problems. Number one, we are saying that we are Fanafi Imam. नहीं, Fanafi Imam कहाँ थे? अभी तो पहला नूर नजर आया था. Fanafi Imam इसको थोड़ी बोलते हैं कोई. That's why I said कि यहाँ पर knowledge का मैंने word use किया. The one without the knowledge, when he or she reaches to this point, she gets lost. She gets lost in the colors of the Nur. And I'm going to give one more, even though I said I will not tell you more, but looks like you guys are curious now. Because on the second heaven, the Nur is not colorful. Nur is not colorful. What's the difference between the Nur, between the first heaven and the second heaven? In the first heaven, the Nur जो है वो सामित है, खामोश है, silent है, but colorful है, deceiving है. On the second heaven, the Nur is no longer colorful, but गोइंदा है, talk करता है, बोलता है, speaks to you, and guides you. अब आ जाए पीछे वापस मोहम्मद के किस्से के अंदर. Which heaven did Muhammad reach? Do we understand? क्यों अकबर ने बोला second? What was his proof? What was his logic? Because Nur was speaking.
Did he go to the first heaven to get to second heaven? You have to.
But he did not stop there, did he?
That's the key.
That's the key. कि जो इसमें आज़म के साथ होता है, इमाम के अमर के साथ होता है, and हमने emphasize किया कि वो पढ़ा लिखा था. Meaning दुनिया बाने पढ़ा लिखे की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं. He must have the तालीमात, the instruction, the knowledge of the religion.
Subhanallah, guidance.
उसके पास true guidance है मोहम्मद के पास. तब जाके वो उधर पहुंचा था.
He had to read it though.
जी. लेकिन वो वहां पर पहुंचा. Jibril said to read it, right? He must have spoken, right? बोला इसके बाद बोला होगा ना कि ये पढ़ो. तो आवाज भी होगी और राइटिंग भी होगी और देखना भी होगा. तीन चीज होगी ना. एक आवाज होगी, एक राइटिंग होगी और राइटिंग को देखना होगा. तो मोहम्मद की बातिन की आंख खुली होगी कि जहां पर उसने वो राइटिंग देखी होगी. So our point was that Muhammad, he received this revelation due to the talimat and the understanding of the religion of Islam. Again, most people think in the Shariat or Al-Zahir, the Islam started with Muhammad. But if you look at the Quran and read the Quran carefully, the word Muslimin and Islam was used for prophets before Muhammad. Before Muhammad. That they were Muslimin and they were following Islam. Because Allah's religion is only one. It's not that Allah made the Adam, it didn't work out, so he changed his mind. He made Noah, he made another religion, it didn't work out, so he changed his mind. He made the third religion, Ibrahim, it didn't work out either. So on, and then he made the sixth religion. And then he said, oh, okay, this is working out. So I'm going to go ahead and perfect Islam for you. No. Allah's religion is only one. And that is the religion of Islam. एक ही religion है. और आज only there is one true Islam. And we call them Ismailism. क्या ये बोल रहा हूं मैं? What do you mean there's only one true Islam today? And we call them Ismailism. क्योंकि इस्लाम के जो प्रिंसिपल था, only one single principle इस्लाम का है. Allah's promise that I always will have living guidance for you. If you can find that in anywhere other than Ismailism, then I would say, okay, they are also with us with the guidance. Because Allah will not forfeit His promise to us. And His promise is, I will always guide you. There will always be Imam for every single people, every single time. हमेशा के लिए इमाम होंगे. तो हमारा जो आखिरी पॉइंट है कि Muhammad was destined to become the prophet. He was pre-selected even before Adam was born. His Noor was pre-selected even before then. His family, the Ali Ibrahim, was the chosen family. And don't forget Abu Muttalib, when the king of the elephant came to attack on Kaaba, Abraha told him that I came over here to destroy your Kaaba. And Abu Talib said what? The Khana Kaaba belongs to Allah. He will protect him. He will protect the Khana Kaaba. So, क्या हमारे जो ill concepts है कि before Muhammad लोग जो है वो बुत परस्ती करते थे. Those are not true concepts. Those are not good concepts. Those are ill concepts. क्योंकि हमने गौर से अपनी हिस्ट्री को नहीं देखा है. And I remind this Farman of Maulana Hazrat Imam again and again. Mullah say, if you truly wanted to understand your religion, read history. जब हम अपने हुदूद दीन की किताबों को पढ़ते हैं, our dies and peace, then we understand कि अबू मुत्तलिब भी एक खुदा पर बिलीव करता था और he had a position in the Islam. Abu Talib also. Normally, if you read the ALWAAZ history or the writing, they will say Abu Talib never accepted the Islam. उसने कभी भी इस्लाम कबूल नहीं किया, वो आपको बताएंगे. लेकिन if you read our history, the written by our Dais and Peers, they will tell you, and even some Sunni Talimat will tell you, that Abu Talib was the one who protected Muhammad after he declared his prophecy. And when time came for migration, he was the one who took Muhammad under his wing and stayed in a cave for 3 years. 3 years he stayed with him and protected him. अगर वो इस्लाम नहीं लाया था तो फिर why would he be protecting him? Remember Abu Talib's brother and Muhammad's chacha, Abu Jahl. He declared that he will not accept Muhammad. And on their very first day, when he had called his family, he was the one who started the waswasa, gossiping against Muhammad on the very first day. When they all came out, Abu Jahl said what to his family and friends? Did you not see the magic Muhammad just performed with the lampshade? There was a pure magic. That's how Abu Jahl saw Muhammad's miracle as a magic. So he started his gossiping or the journey against Muhammad on the very first day. और वो भी इसका चाचा ही था. The name Abu Jahl, the father of the ignorant. उसका नाम अबू जेहल नहीं था, उसका टाइटल था. खुदा ताला कहते हैं कि वो जाहिलों के अंदर सबसे बड़ा जाहिल जो था ना वो ये था, मोहम्मद अंकल. क्यों वो जाहिल था? अगर आप हिस्ट्री के अंदर दोबारा जाएं, he was very learned person, scholar. Matter of fact, he was kind of a judge. If there was any problem, disputes all the way from Iran to Iraq, faraway places in Yemen, people will come to Makkah and they will see him for the resolution. इतना वो होशियार बंदा था. But when it came to Muhammad, he did not understand anything. तो पढ़े लिखे आदमी को खुदा ने क्या कहा? वो जाहिल था. किस बात में जाहिल था वो? रूहानियत के अंदर. He did not understand the बातिनी side of the Muhammad. तो मोहम्मद के पास जरूर ऐसा कोई इल्म था, जरूर कोई ऐसा इंस्ट्रक्शन देने वाला था, और जरूर उसको कोई इसमें आज़म देने वाला था जिसकी वजह से उसका बातिन खुल गया था. It was not a coincidence that he was given the revelation or the Quran. हाँ? जी, ये कहते हैं कि कुरान के बारे में भी कुछ कहूँ. The revelations that were coming to Muhammad, and we all know कि जैसे से ये आयतें और सूरह आती जा रही थी, because Muhammad was very disciplined and he was a good businessman, he knew how to keep account of everything. He would ask his people, not one but multiple people, to keep count of and write down every single verse that will be revealed to him. And as the revelation will come, he will call them and they will write the ayats. करते 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 इसको 22 years तक इसको compile किया. Not in the book shape, but everybody was writing it together. And when after Muhammad, after Abu Bakr and Umar, when Osman came, he did the first compilation of the Quran. First. And then even after 100 years or so, or even longer, they did a second and third edition of their compilation that Osman had done. On those editions, they made some changes.
And that the person who did that was Hajjaj bin Yusuf, what he did, he burned the book of Usman and he made changes in it. And then he was the one, he was a scholarly guy, and he put those Arabs to make it read consistently by anybody who's Arabic reading or not.
So this person, after almost 150, 200 years after Muhammad, he took the original compilation which Osman had done, and he got rid of that or burned it, and then he recompiled the Quran that we see today. And he added those full stop and the
Arabs,
Zer Zabar Pesh,
Shapos.
Shapos. He added those for the non-speaking Arabic people. क्योंकि Arabic people जो थे उसके लिए तो सही था, लेकिन जो non-Arabic people थे, people like us, we would not be able to read the Quran correctly. So to us, he actually did a great job by adding the shapos. But the problem was that he added some of the things on the wrong places. Not intentionally, but with his own understanding. Whatever understanding he had. And if you all remember, we were talking about this one ayat one time, जहाँ पर खुदावंद ताला फरमाते हैं कि कुरान की कोई भी तावील नहीं कर सकता है अल्लाह के सिवा और रासिकुन फी इल्म. तो उन्होंने क्या किया कि इस तरह से लिखा, कुरान की कोई तावील नहीं कर सकता है अल्लाह के सिवा, फुल स्टॉप. अब मसला खड़ा हो गया कि अल्लाह के सिवा अगर कोई तावील नहीं कर सकता है तो अब कुरान को हम करें क्या, क्योंकि कुरान इज इन एलोगोरीज. हाउ डू वी अंडरस्टैंड विदाउट द तावील? You will not be able to understand the Quran without the Tawil. अच्छा, तो अब यहाँ पर ये सवाल पैदा हो गया कि जो कुरान हमारे हाथ में आज है, how can we trust this Quran which was changed at least 3 times that we know of? For that, इमाम सुल्तान मोहम्मद शाह को पूछा गया कि या मौला, इस कुरान में इतनी तब्दीली हुई है, so what do we do? And Mullah said, whatever we have today in the shape of the Quran is good enough for us. It is enough to show my imamat. And that is so true. अगर आज कोई कुरान को उस नज़र से देखे कि जिस नज़र से इमाम बात कर रहे हैं, and with the blessing and the guidance of the imam, you will find Imam in this Quran with the 100% proof of the Imam. 100%. आपको पता है कि 12 इमाम के डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्टली रेफरेंसेस है with the word इमाम, जिसमें से 11 इमाम के लिए है, मीनिंग इमाम बरक के लिए है, और एक जो है वो इमाम जायलून के लिए है. So 12 times Imam is mentioned in Quran. 49 times Noor is mentioned in Quran. And then Imam Jafar Sadiq saying, is the Kulliyai Makillah, the principle of it is. And what is the principle? Whatever is said for the Allah in the Quran is for us इमामान. अब जहां पर भी अल्लाह का नाम आया, खुदा का नाम आया, रब का नाम आया, जहां पर भी ये अल्फाज आए, वी, मी, यू, ये सब के सब इमाम के लिए हो गए. इफ दैट इज द केस, एंड देन शी सेड इट, अब तो 6666 आयत ही इमाम के लिए हो गई.
The stuff that you mentioned last time about Iran and how their Quran is different, when did those modifications
Okay, so the Shia Ali, remember there were two sections, Shia Ali and Shia Mawiya. So Shia Mawiya was the one who made the changes. The Shia Ali kept the original Quran that was compiled at the time of Prophet Muhammad. and hopefully by Maula Ali himself. So they kept that Quran or the scripture that Maula Ali had written down. In that scripture, there are 40 paras, 40 sections. In this Quran, there are 30 sections. So they have 10 more surahs or the paras, the section, than this Quran. And if you look at those 10 sections only, you will find out all of those surahs and ayat are about Maula Ali. Directly about Maula Ali. So that's why the other people took it out. Other changes that were made to Quran was the order of the Quran that we read today. For example, Surah Baqarah, which is number 2, is not actually number 2 in the sequence of revelation. So revelation sequence was also changed, the order that we see today. But regardless, what I'm trying to say, regardless of whatever changes they made, they could not remove or take away Imam from the Quran.
So we have questions, but what was the intent? What
intent was that Prophet Muhammad could not have done the ibadat without the Ismi Azam, without the talimat of somebody, and without the amr of the Imam. Why do we say that? Because otherwise he would not be able to get to the level he got to and receive the Quran. He was there for a purpose. He was doing the ibadat with the amr of the Imam, with the Ismi Azam, and he was not there coincidentally, but he was there purposely. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing because he was pre-selected. He was destined to become the Prophet. He was born for that. जी.
और दूसरा है कि इल्म वाली रूह दर्जा बदर्जा, तो आज हमारी रूह जो है वो इल्म के थ्रू जो है वो पहले आसमान से दूसरे आसमान और दूसरे आसमान से तीसरे आसमान हम जाते हैं. तो इल्म वाली रूह पगतिया ऊपर चढ़ से इमाम ने कहा है.
So ये बरकत भाई ने जो भी बोली बात कि इल्म वाली रूह इमाम सुल्तान शाह के फरमान से दर्जा ब दर्जा ऊपर चढ़ेंगी. तो क्या प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद की रूह दर्जा पर ऊपर चढ़ी? क्या कहाँ पर देखा हमने इसको? Miraj. It took him another almost 11 years after the first revelation. He was almost 51-year-old when he went to Miraj. इसका मतलब है अभी भी उसकी in history you will not see that कि after the first revelation did he ever go to Ghar Hira for ibadat? You will not see that anymore. लेकिन वो 11 साल के बाद जाके मेराज पे गए. Meaning his ibadat, his गिरयावजारी, his journey continued. He did not stop on the first heaven or the second heaven. He went all the way to the seventh heaven. Do we see that? इल्म वाली रूह दर्जा व दर्जा ऊपर जाएंगी. Thank you बरकत भाई जी.